We are going to solve compound inequalities. So we've dealt with inequalities before, where it has a variable and then an inequality and then a number. But these are compound because they represent two numbers that it could be. So a compound inequality is an inequality that combines two simple inequalities. Okay, so look at our first one. That looks kind of crazy. We've got a lot of things going on. We're going to solve this the same way we solve inequalities, but we have to do it basically twice. We could cover up the 5 and then solve the other side. Cover up the -3, solve the other side. Or what we can do is draw a line down our inequality and do them at the same time. Whatever you do to the middle, you have to do to both sides. Kind of like whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other. But this, we're going to get x by itself in the middle and then two numbers on the other side. So if I have x plus 2 in the middle, I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides. So I get -5 is less than x is less than 5 minus 2, 3. That's my inequality. So x, what this means, because we're in order from least to greatest, smallest to largest, and we have the less than symbols. See how they're both less than, and a less than? Then that means that x is between -5 and 3. So we are going to graph this on a number line also. So we need -5 and we need 3. Zero's in there somewhere, right? So it'd be closer to the 3. If I just want to put another number in there just to kind of give me an idea of where I'm at, a relative location, I put the 0 in there. Okay, we're going to graph this on the number line. They're both less than, so that means we're going to shade between them. And then we need to do open or closed circles depending on the inequality. Yeah, they're both going to be open. This is open because it's not the or equal to, and this is open. So that's how we would put it on a number line. So x is anything between -5 and 3. All right, cool. Not too bad. Let's go to example 2. So this gives us two totally different inequalities. So we're just going to solve them and then put them on the same number line. That's all that means. And it says or here. This one means x is between -5 and 3. This is an or. So they're actually going to go opposite directions when we graph them. All right, so we're going to add 3. And then we have 1/2 times b. To get rid of 1/2 in front, we multiply by the reciprocal, which would be 2/1, or just 2 on both sides. So b is less than or equal to -2. Okay, so that's one of the inequalities for x. And then the other inequality. Okay, there's more than one way to do this. We could distribute and then solve. Or right at the beginning, see how there's nothing else except for 3 times something?
Maybe just 3b.
If we distributed, it'd be 3b plus 3 and then we would subtract 3 and then divide by 3. So now we've got to decide, what does this mean? How do we graph on the number line? Okay, so let's put both of our numbers on there. So we know we need a -2. It's a small number. And we need 2. Right in between -2 and 2 is 0. So that gives us our, relative location. Make sure our number line is in order from least to greatest. Okay, this says B is less than -2, less than or equal to. So this is going to be closed on -2. And it says less than. So which direction are we going to go if we're going less than? Left. Going left. Left is less than. Left hand, less than, remember that? I always use my left hand and look at it and be like, okay, that's left. I'm going to turn left to get to my friend's house. All right, B is greater than 2. So that's going to be an open circle. Greater, which direction? Right. So either 2 is less than, either x is less than or equal to -2, or x is greater than 2. That's what that means. Okay, let's mark this one out, and we're going to do a different one. Okay, here we go. -33 is less than or equal to -7n minus 12. Is less than -26. So it's like the first one, yeah. Okay, so we've got to get the n by itself in the middle. So we need to get rid of that -12. So we do plus 12 on both sides. -33 plus 12, -21. And -26 plus 12, -14. And how do we get x by itself, or n by itself? Divide by -7. Do you remember what we have to do when we divide by a negative to get n by itself? We're going to flip these. So this will be 3 is now greater than or equal to n, greater than 2. So that's our inequality, but normally we like it to say less than. So what we can do is we can switch these and switch these. Do a little flip-flop. So 2 is going to go here. 3 is going to go here. N is going to go here. It's going to stay. Then switch these. You got to switch them and also keep, see how this has a no or equal to on the 2 side? You got to keep the no or equal to with the 2. But the 3 has the or equal to, so keep the or equal to on the 3 side. So this tells me that n is between 2 and 3. Zero would not go between 2 and 3, right? We wouldn't do that. So we are just going to leave it 2 with 3. 2, 3, that's it. And let's graph it. So this would be an open circle. So it'd be a closed circle. And you shade between them. We could have left it like this. 3 is greater than or equal to n is greater than 2. And still graphed it that way. It would be fine. All right, let's go to our inequality that we have to write the matching inequality or the graph. So because these go opposite direction, we're going to put an or between them. So x is something, what, -4? Less than or equal to, and I kind of cheat. Look at that and look at that. See how they're the same symbols? This is a closed circle, so that's why it's the or equal to. Okay, or x is greater than 2. So when they go opposite directions, we do the or. And then when they are shaded between, we do the numbers with x between it. And use the less than symbol. And because it's closed, I have to do the or equal to. So this is shade between. And it looks like this. And then the previous one was shade opposite directions. So that's what you're going to be looking for.